Good morning, everyone. Myself Tejasri, working as guest lecturer in physics. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic quantum tunneling. So, let us first discuss history of quantum tunneling. So, it is a consequence of the wave nature of matter. It was first used to explain alpha decay of heavier elements in 1928 by George Gamow, shown experimentally by Luno Isaki in 1958 in the tunneling diode. So, what is quantum tunneling? At the quantum level, matter has corpuscular and wave-like properties, which means when we discuss at quantum level, which means microscopic level, so the matter exhibits corpuscular and wave-like properties. Tunneling can only be explained by the wave nature of matter as described by quantum mechanics. So, in quantum mechanics, this tunneling concept can be explained by the wave nature. Classically, when a particle is incident on a barrier of greater energy than the particle, reflection occurs. When described as a wave, the particle has a probability of existing within the barrier region and even on the other side of it, which means when we consider it classically, that is a particle in a box or infinite potential well, the particle which is incident on that particular barrier is greater than the energy of the particle only at that reflection occurs. Whereas when we describe as a wave, then the particle has certain probability to exist within that region and also to overcome that barrier and go to the other side of the region or other side of that box or well. So how can this be? Solutions of the wave equation having the general form in first region. So in the barrier region, the solution becomes in equation 2, which means here we have represented this first region of the solution form, means this first region of the solution form is a in t power ikx plus b in t power minus ikx, and the second region solution form is c into e power kx plus d into e power minus kx. So when we consider this as the particle in certain region, so we have three regions, 1, 2 and 3 regions, and the particle we are seeing that from first region to the third region. So first is solution of the wave equation of the general form in first region, and the second region is the barrier region that solution becomes, that is c in t power kx plus d in t power minus kx. So the wave function decays exponentially in the barrier region, which means when we observe this graphical representation, so in this barrier region, which means in this particular barrier region, so the wave is graphically decreasing. So decreasing after that barrier region, it has completely decreased and it constantly moved in that particular region. That is, the wave function decays exponentially, it is decreasing in the barrier region. If some portion of the wave function still exists on the other side of the barrier, transmission has occurred. That is this part, this third region. Since this wave function of some part existed in this third region is transmitted from that barrier. So the width of the barrier is the most prominent factor in determining the probability of the transmission. So we can also observe in this graph. So this is before the barrier region. So in this barrier region it has exponential decreased, and after the barrier region, since some portion of the wave function has part is remained, it is transmitted through this barrier region and it is continued. So tunneling and alpha decay. So we are using this is nothing but quantum tunneling, which means here the particle which existing the wave nature is passing through that barrier and it is transmitting and it is continuing. Therefore, we have different applications for this quantum tunneling. That one is tunneling and alpha decay. So first we used this tunneling concept in this alpha decay, that is George Gamow used tunneling to explain alpha decay in uranium-238. So the alpha particle does not have enough kinetic energy to escape the nucleus. So there is a chance due to its wave function that it will escape the potential barrier of that nucleus boundary. So due to the exponential decay nature of the wave function in the barrier region, the width of the barrier can manifest itself in the half-life of the isotope. So next one is the microchip development. So this is another application. So as microchip developers create smaller production processes, we reach the limit of classical computer technology, which means since we developed these microchips, which means smaller production process, which means according to classical concepts, so the developing of this microchip has reached certain limit. So the feature size of the most advanced chip today is 45 nanometers. With such a small width, the electron in the channel can tunnel out with relative ease, probably affecting other transistors in the chip. So current approximations shows that minimum feature size is about 4 nanometers. After that point, tunneling is not only possible but highly likely that the chip would fail. So the next one is scanning tunneling microscopes. The scanning tunneling microscope was invented in 1981 by Gerd Binning and Heinrich Roher. So when a metal chip usually made of tungsten or platinum iridium is bought within 4 to 5 nanometers of the sample, so the electrons tunnel across the gap and create a current in the tip. So this current is then fed to a computer and used to generate an image of the atomic surface of the sample. So at this distance, the Coulomb force between the tip and an atom of the sample is actually enough to move the atom. So this was allowed physicists to create images and structures on the atomic level. So tunneling diodes, this is another application of the quantum tunneling. So it was developed in 1958 by Leona Isaki at Sony. So tunneling diodes are designed with a heavily doped PN junction that is only 10 nanometers wide. So at low voltages, the P and N states are aligned, allowing electrons to tunnel across the gap. So as voltage increases, these states become more misaligned and fewer electrons flow. This negative resistance region allows the diode to operate at very high frequencies well into the gigahertz range. So next one is force sensors. So a UK company is developing flexible force sensors that use quantum tunneling. So these sensors are made of quantum tunneling composite materials, which means mixture of materials. So these quantum tunnelings are essential non-conducting in their normal state. So when flexed by an applied force, the atoms of the quantum tunneling are brought close enough so that tunneling can occur. The tunneling changes the QTC from an insulator to a conductor with a predictable exponential decay in resistance. So these were certain applications of this quantum tunneling where we vastly operate. So the first one of the example is tunneling of alpha decay. So next one is microchip developments. Another one is scanning tunneling microscopes. And the other is tunneling diodes. Again, we have more and more applications through this quantum tunneling. So which this concept can be explained, this quantum tunneling concept, only through the wave nature of that particle. So this is about quantum tunneling. Thank you.